Just as the Orion was derived from the Electra, the British aerospace Nimrod was evolved from the de Havilland Comet. The process was more complex, since it needed a revision of the design to accommodate 4 Rolls-Royce Spey turbofans. But the program produced what is arguably the world's best land-based maritime reconnaissance and anti-submarine aircraft. The Nimrod Mark I came into Royal Air Force service in 1968, and its current Mark II variant, seen here with the characteristic refueling probe, began to be introduced in 1979. In the lower fuselage is a long weapons bay. This can hold 13,500 pounds of bombs, or up to 9 Stingray or comparable anti-submarine torpedoes. There are also 2 underwing hardpoints for Sea Eagle or Harpoon anti-ship missiles or Sidewinder self-defense missiles. The normal tactical crew is 6 or 7. As these men check their specialized mission equipment, the flight crew of 5 prepares the Nimrod for its mission.
Stand by, neon on, in-phase and quad lights on, MI white. On neon and lights, MI.
Director horizons.
Director failed flags, director indices, parked.
Right, carry out sphere checks when required by the staff.
Once cleared, the Nimrod taxis out and takes off. The Nimrod is at the very front of submarine hunting and killing technology, and further developments are being incorporated to keep the aircraft updated. The most important of these is the new Laurel electronic support measures equipment, which is being added in wingtip pods. The normal routine calls for a high-speed transit of between 2 to 4 hours to the area for a 5-hour patrol up to 1,500 miles from base. At the other end of the scale from the Nimrod is the trim McDonnell Douglas A4 Skyhawk. The Skyhawk is now disappearing from carrier-borne service, but still serves usefully as a land-based light attack bomber. Often called the Bantam bomber for its size and agility, the A4 was conceived in the early 1950s and emerged for its first flight in June 1954. At about half the 30,000-pound weight specified by the U.S. Navy. Despite its size, the A4 has proved remarkably versatile and has been developed enormously in terms of role and payload. The type's forte is close air support with its 2 cannon and upwards of 8,250 pounds of disposable ordnance carried on 5 hardpoints. Single-seat versions are the more common, though the U.S. Marine Corps uses a 2-seat forward air control model. With its simple systems and reliable Pratt & Whitney non-afterburning turbojet, the Skyhawk makes an excellent quick reaction machine. This role is further enhanced by the ease with which ground crews can attach bombs, rocket launchers, and other weapons without special equipment. In the naval attack role, it was particularly successful in Argentine service during the Falklands conflict. The A4 is subsonic and a good weapon delivery platform. Over the years, this latter capacity has been augmented by increasingly capable nav attack systems, including a head-up display and the Hughes angle rate bombing system. This means that simple weapons such as rockets and napalm can be delivered with devastating accuracy. In secondary theaters, the Skyhawk still has a considerable future.
Hi, my name is Lieutenant Phil Angel Angelini. I'm stationed with VF-211 on board the USS Nimitz. We'll be back with more wings.
The Vought A7 Corsair II was developed very rapidly during the mid-1960s to replace the A4 Skyhawk and has matured into an exceptional medium attack bomber. The primary requirement was larger payload carried over greater range, and the Vought designers used the aerodynamics of the F-8 Crusader fighter as the starting point for the new design, which first flew in September 1965. Most current variants use the Allison TF41 non-afterburning turbofan, and in its carrier-borne A7E model, the Corsair II can carry 15,000 pounds of weapons over short range or 9,500 pounds over longer ranges. Important in weapon delivery accuracy are, of course, the Corsair's capable electronic systems. The nav attack system pioneered on the A7E has a versatile computer to integrate the inertial and Doppler navigation, radar altimeter, and multi-mode radar systems. Targets can be engaged with one of the A7's exceptional range of weapon types. Free-fall bombs are common, but the A7 is well able to tackle radars with anti-radiation missiles. And tanks can be engaged with air-to-surface missiles such as the Maverick. From the late 1970s, capability has been further extended by the adoption of a forward-looking infrared sensor pod feeding an advanced head-up display to allow adverse weather attacks. Recovery to the carrier and then an arrested landing present no problems before the Corsair taxis out of the way to be readied for another mission. That naval aircraft need have no less power and performance than their land-based counterparts was demonstrated by the British aerospace Buccaneer, which first flew in April 1958 as the Blackburn Buccaneer carrier-borne strike and reconnaissance aircraft. The current Mark II version with Rolls-Royce Spey turbofans is now operated from land bases by the Royal Air Force in the low-level anti-shipping and reconnaissance roles. The two-seat Buccaneer has advanced aerodynamics for high subsonic flight at sea level and an ingenious tail cone that splits to create a powerful air brake when landing. The airframe is immensely strong to withstand the stresses of carrier operations, especially at launch with large weapon loads, and in flight, the Buccaneer is a highly impressive machine.
Comfort 042.
Typical of its period, the Buccaneer has an internal weapons bay for 4 1,000-pound bombs, and the 4 external hardpoints can each lift 3,000 pounds of stores. The electronics are now dated, but at low level, the Buccaneer still handles magnificently and is an excellent platform for modern weapons such as the Sea Eagle anti-ship missile.
Negative. Pigeons 22070. That's the enemy radar. Down you go. Okay, standard under the low descent. Fine. Roger. Come starboard 045. Steady 045. I've got the landfall. Starboard 047. Roger. 047. Visual. Roger. Okay, I see the lakes. Selected. Roger.
The Grumman A6E Intruder is the world's finest carrier-borne all-weather attack bomber. As the deck crew swarm around this example, preparing it for launch, one can see the intruder's side-by-side seating behind the radome of the multi-mode radar, almost unswept wings with 4 hardpoints, 2 low-thrust Pratt & Whitney J-52 non-afterburning turbojets, and simple tail. In the air, the purposeful appearance of the A-6 becomes evident, as does the large number of bombs that can be carried. A-6 attack waves, as used during the U.S. raid on Libya in 1986, are generally accompanied by an EA-6B Prowler, the 4-seat electronic warfare version usually used to jam enemy radars. The intruder can carry most U.S. guided weapons, but is generally seen with numerous iron bombs, of which up to 18,000 pounds can be carried. Accuracy is of a very high order, and this allows the intruder to operate in the close air support role under ground force or forward air control. Pinpoint accuracy is normal after a straight approach, and delivery within 30 feet of the aiming point is standard after a beacon hop approach. As can be seen here, an undernose target recognition and attack multi-sensor, or tram turret, is now standard on A-6Es. Its forward-looking infrared sensor and laser rangefinder provide television-like pictures of distant targets magnified up to 13 times. This enables the A-6 to attack targets previously unidentified by radar. The cockpit is also being modernized, and the forthcoming A6F version with General Electric F404 turbofans will see further consolidation of the intruder's paramount position amongst naval attack bombers.
I'm NavCAD Cook, VT4, Naval Air Station, Pensacola, Florida. Wings be right back.